Alright. Now we have a vampire. Now he has a happy face. Volga looks so happy now. So, this is what we wanted. He is a lesser vampire now because he was infected with vampire virus, and we did not cure him on purpose. We actually got him infected on purpose too. And now he's a vampire, which means a couple things. First of all, he drops his weapon and all armor, but he didn't have any armor to begin with. And he picks up a billhook instead. The billhook is a better weapon than a one-handed sword. Like, this is a comparison. Like those two. I cannot move them over. Really? I don't need this one anyways. So this one has higher, both are steel, right? So this is the same quality. This has 68 base damage, and this has 61. And more importantly, this has 100% armor shatter, and this is 175%. So this is not only higher base damage, but also much better against armor. And Rogue doesn't do anything against armor later on, and we're hoping this would scale us better into the late game. And another thing this enables is pushing criticals. So pushing criticals, on normal critical melee hit, push target 1 hits. But it only works with spear, billhook or shield. And by picking up his billhook, he gets access to pushing criticals now. And as you could see, he backstabs them 4 times. And now every time he backstabs them, he pushes them into his ally, and the ally on the other side will retaliate. So, since we will be losing bleeding at some point, because enemies will have armor and will be bloodless, bleeding isn't effective anymore, and we need to find another way to make him effective. And what we're hoping is that pushing criticals will be this way. He doesn't do much damage anymore with like max % HP damage. With bleeding, but he will be pushing them into our ally, and this ally will retaliate and will hit them with a backstab too. So this is hopefully our way to scale. The other thing when transforming into a vampire is you pick up super healing. So every 4 days all injuries are healed, which is really nice. So we don't care about him dying anymore. And you need blood to sustain them. So he will drain your blood storage. And if it ever hits 0, he will start biting other people and will injure them, which is really bad. The traits he gained as vampires are Engaging Strike, which is alright, it's whatever. A Leech, which is really good, he is built-in sustain now, so he will heal off his backstabs. Hastening Crits, which on normal critical hit gains 20% bonus speed, which has incredible synergy with being an assassin. He had this before because he was a scavenger assassin, but normal ones don't have it, and it's really nice. And he is bloodless, so he can no longer bleed, which is really good. And those are like the 4 you pick up from being a vampire. Those 4. And they are useful on so many things. So if you can afford to be a vampire, you should be. It's worth noting that he dropped all his abilities. He does no longer have traps, and he has charge instead, like all vampires do. But he kept his focus ability. And he kept all his traits from being an assassin, which means swift hands, strike an additional time when backstabbing. He kept light foot, kept light weapon, which gives him more stamina and speed. He kept assassin's retreat, which lets him move after backstabbing. His agile, which he had from being a scavenger assassin. His murdering sense, which gives him another attack when someone dies. And his bleeding from throat cutter. So, in addition to those 4, you also get to keep everything the other guy had. Right, so this is why we infected him, and hopefully he will do us much good. Much good. Many wow. No, I said that wrong. Much good, many damage, such wow. Ha, this way. So he has built-in sustain with Leech. We don't need any more. We could use bleeding crits for now, since enemies are still bleeding. And we don't need feet, because he has Lightfoot as an assassin. We could use poisonous crits. Poisonous crits would be really good, because he's strong versus poison. And as long as we can poison stuff, it wouldn't be bad. And he dropped his immortal, huh? He doesn't need immortal anymore because we're not super afraid of him dying. More like we're afraid of anyone else dying. Because he will heal on his own. So we give it to him for now. Pushing criticals memes. I will steal that meme from my runs. Wow. Is that how you get your memes? You steal it from other people? Like you care to know if people die. Of course I do. You lose 4 movements as well? I'm not 100%. We will find out. I have no idea if we lose movement or not. I suspect we still have 4 movement. Give him birdie maybe, since all he does is spam attacks. You don't care if he dies. Huh, interesting. It would actually be a good birdie user, huh? But he kinda wants to do damage to armor. Let's try him without birdie, and then try him with birdie and see what's better. Alright, and we take this one, enemy fort. This one should give us medicine. And this is what he looks like in his final form. This is ball guy. He's a happy ball guy. Without a ball. Ball guy is of course the shorter name for ball dropper. A regular here in the channel. And we named him after him. But he always gets the name ball guy because the character limit doesn't allow ball dropper. Sadly. I missed your question. Bloodlust or blood curse on Javelin here? I'm sorry I missed it. Neither. I wouldn't use any of those. Ball dropper. Huh, interesting. I have to try that. I'm not sure if it's effort enough. So you don't want bloodlust on Javelinier because Javelinier has pierced that armor, and he wants to be able to like crit armored units to get to pierce them, and that doesn't give him a lot of kills actually. You only get kills on Javelinier if you build them full glass cannon and you actually 2-tap people. Whereas if you're a full glass cannon, the 40% max HP heal doesn't do anything because you get one shot. Actually one shot. So I think either way, Bloodlust is not a good fit for Javelinier. Blood Curse from a weapon would be okay-ish, but you get really low HP again, and if you actually want to benefit from lifestealing on a ranged character, you have to build him with a lot of vitality to actually survive hits. And that will lower his damage, right? And with lowering his damage, he lifesteals less and he's less useful overall. So for me personally, I just build him glass cannon and I protect them in other ways. So I feel like leeching is not good on ranged characters, just because they don't need it, and if they need it, they actually need to be able to survive hits, and they usually don't. You protect them with aegis or like delirium or stuff. So I shouldn't buy it. It's a weapon. I personally would not buy that. It could be okay early, but it still lowers your HP. I don't know. I wouldn't. Wouldn't be worth the money for me. It's probably okay until mid-game, but give me 1 second, I need to drink something. Alright, my throat is still not used to talking that much every day. Like talking for hours on end. If you go from not talking, like just talking regularly, to just talking for 8 hours plus, then it feels like it's straining your throat and your voice a little. He's pulling, right? So for this layout, Thanks, no problem. So for this layout, you want to pull them down, and you want to be dancing around oil. Hey, I have dancing for two different things, don't I? Oil dancing and like dancing on people. Usually, if it's a fortress, you want to be dancing around oil. But since this is a contract, an enemy fortification contract, there is no oil thrower. So there will be no oil. So we don't have to worry about that. Just out of habit, I position them like this, if there was oil. So we want to position over here, just because archers are there. And we want to be out of range of their movement. Like, they could move here and shoot. And we want to be out of range. We want the notification, like, once they are actually in the fight, so we can deal with them. And he's gonna be pulling, and we will stay over here. Usually you cannot stay here because the oil will just surround you, but like since it's not a real fortress, we can do it. The layouts for fortresses are all the same. It's always the same, exactly, like every tile is the same, so I know them very well. As opposed to villages and like other contracts where that's randomized and I don't know the layout. But in fortresses you always know what you're up against. It's just there are many layouts and it chooses one randomly, so I don't think we pierce here. Nope, not even close. Not only does it CC him, but it also forces this guy to go around. We don't need to get close to him now. He does not have round strike, but it's still no reason to take extra damage. And we should have put him here to get in range. We can still do it to get like a good throw off. And he has the assassin, right? But he has pushing grids. He has charge now because he's a beast. Let's do this. I can just push him in, right? Oh no, he didn't have a crit. Alright. Fair enough. So I can demonstrate this here, I think. I have enough movement. So if you go here and attempt to ram him, it rams him up there because the angle is like not as straight down there, but like the angle points upwards more like this. But if you go back here, you can still ram him and the angle changes. It like straightens out a little bit more and points more towards the pit. So as you can see on the indicator here, the indicator is up here, which lets you know where he will end up if you ram him. And if you actually ram from here, you can ram him down, which is really handy because they stand here a lot on this tile and you don't have any other pit opportunities. Anyone managed to make good use of swamper units except shaman? I like floaters a lot, they're my favorite range unit, really. Yeah, spearmen are pretty powerful. It's just that they are banned, but I would like to play with spearmen. The only reason they are banned is because they have protector, which lets you do infinite protection setups, just like guardian, if you set it up correctly. So that's why they're not in this run. But they're really strong. Also, some people have success with floaters, some people really hate floaters. It's like, I think a playstyle thing. But they can be good, I think. I haven't made them work myself. Ugh. Could you stop that? Kinda hurts my feelings. You can build floaters to spam the dots with berserk since they only need 30 stamina. That's true. Yeah, the withdrawal thing is really good. So how they work is they have withdrawal, which is like the assassin, like the ranged form of the assassin's retreat. So if an assassin backstabs, he has this unique thing where he can move 2 more hexes after, and he can basically move away. So his thing is he moves in, he backstabs, and then he moves out, and is in safety again. And the floater has this ranged equivalent, which is called withdrawal. So if they move up, if they crit, after a crit they can move 2 tiles again. So they only have a range of 3, but they can move up and then crit them, and then they move back 2 again. So they're effectively 5 tiles away, which is outranging archers. So you can do it that way. The thing is, pipe tubes have low base damage and no armor shatter basically, and all they do is poison them with built-in nerf sense. And I haven't found much success with them, simply because if you give them ranged support, you cannot do this withdrawal thing anymore, but you have to actually have them in range for the ranged support, and it eats their crits, and on their turn they don't have a crit anymore. If you don't do that, you can walk up, you can crit them, you go back, and then you wait, which gives you a crit back. Then you can walk up again, crit them, and walk back, and you get the crit back. So you crit every turn, but you only have 1 attack a turn, and this 1 attack doesn't do much damage, it just poisons them. You can apply other stuff with it because you have a guaranteed crit. You can do stuff with them. I just haven't found like much success with them. You only need 30 stamina per attack, but if you give them multiple attacks, it doesn't do much for me. Like, you poison them again and again, but they're already poisoned, and their base damage is like whatever. You can poison multiple units, I guess. Good strong versus with them. Yeah, it's hard to use ranged support with them, that's true. Also, what up, Shake the Boss Ball? Welcome back. Alright. Did he shoot me enough yet? 8-3. Does he have 4 movement? No, he totally only has 3 movement. So he lost his 4th movement from becoming a vampire out of an assassin. Huh. This kinda sucks. We cannot move up here because then he will not move down. We just have to keep moving him back. And he will keep moving up. So we have to sit for 1 turn just to get him down. And he has to just go here. He is pushing crits, so he can actually just go here and push him in. And engage him, I guess. Let's do this. Stupid archer. I want to backstab with him. Let's do this. He might take a hit here, but it's worth it too. Oh, he's out. Could you stop that? Okay, let's see it. Oh, I should have regened him before, huh? So this is what we are theorizing about. So he backstabs him and pushes him into, and he has retaliate. He also has pushing, by the way. So as soon as I hit him, he gets bounced around until 1 runs out of stamina. Because it's like a pinball machine, right? He hits him and crits him and pushes him. Then he retaliates and crits him and pushes him back because he also has pushing criticals. So as soon as I hit once, he just bounces around until one of my guys runs out of stamina. Is the idea. So I hit him, push him, he retaliates, pushes him, he retaliates, pushes him, he retaliates, pushes him, he retaliates once more, pushes him, but he's out of stam now. But this 1 attack killed him. What's happening? No, Marauders don't have reflexive skin, only the elite ones have it. It's not on the players ones. That was amazing, 10 out of 10 meme. Hey, thanks. I like this interaction a lot. I think we go here and try to finish him. Yeah, he took the hit we anticipated here. It was fine. Let's push him this way. Does he have round strike? He has round strike, so he's fairly dangerous. Come here, son. It's give and take, not take and take. Oh shoot, I cannot get around. He also doesn't have stuff ready. Let's do this for now. So we can set him here. He doesn't have a crit ready though. Stupid rend armors. I generate so many of them. But I need them for like my initial setup. I can only push him there. That sucks. I don't want to push him there. Weakened. Hey, he might get a kill. Hey, he's stacking. Nice. He has this thing with Battle Harden. Every time he gets a kill, he gets a stack on... Oh, that was it, right? There was no... Hey, Swift Hands! But we already have that. Huh. Oh. Well, I guess. We get one medicine. Right, here's Battle Hardened. On a killing blow, increase random stat permanently up to 30. So we're trying to feeding him kills. He's at 20 out of 30. But it's really hard because he has low base damage. And bleeding doesn't count as him killing something. So, yeah. But we're trying. Your hands will be so swift you will slip between the enemies. Oh, that wasn't a great one, but alright. Get a berserker. Those are banned from the challenge. Hang on. Challenge. This is the list of all the things that are banned. So we can only take him and actually keep him. Those two we would have to fire. Foot collection, foot collection. Alright, so we came here for this one medicine, which will allow us to keep someone important alive. Most likely Hate Camel as like the party leader, because if he dies the run is over. And we have summoned reserve now. We want one to be scouting. We don't want them to be scavenging because they're actually valuable to us. We want to keep this guy in case we have to sacrifice him on a bad fight. We go here. We still have income from the village here. It goes down slowly, so you don't get infinite income from those villages. If you remember, it was 11 trillium at the start, And since we walked here and back, it's 7 trillion. And it will slowly decline and it will be 0. Like... which villages did we take last? Like those. Here. It's yours, income 0 blood per day. So, since we took this and like ran around, it decayed to 0 already. So this will go down slowly too. It's like just a stockpile of money you get over a period of like 20 days or something, and then it declines. So it's not permanent income. So we want to take the hideout and the weapon master. There are 2 more legendaries for us, and we surely need legendaries. Give him this. He has swift thingies, swift hands thingies, but it's a lot higher base damage. And as you can see, the armor shader goes up by quite a bit. It's 219, so it scales pretty well, and it should be able to take down some armor eventually. Right, let's do it. 154 days now, monkeys. Yeah, we will get wrecked at map 2. The run struggled for a long time, and we had to stay here to recover, and the map 1 scaling is capped, so those guys actually don't scale anymore, which is why those fights are pretty easy. But the world map progresses with days passed, and we are super slow. Like if you're fast, you go to map 2 before day 100, and we are at day 150 something, 154. So once we get to map 2, the scaling will be unlocked again, because it's not the beginner map anymore, and we will get absolutely hammered. Like, I don't think this run has a serious shot, but I always give it my best effort, and I will always play until our leader is dead. Even if I lose the other party members and stuff, I will try my best till the end. Anyways, this is the chieftain. So we only have to kill the chieftain here and the mission immediately ends. Everyone else is optional. But of course they will like stand in the way and stuff and shoot you. We also have beasts which we unleashed from our village. We want to fight down here, I think. We have like good choke points, we have a pit. We just go onto this guy. We just have to make sure we don't end up next to it because he's ramming. And he will ram us into 7. Who goes before him? 6th. He's a birdie hunter. Alright, that makes sense. So let's move him closer so he doesn't shoot him. Maybe he shoots him anyways. But you know, he's birdie, so who cares? Alright, let's do it. What's this? Intruders, kill them now. So just make sure we stand on safe tiles. Hang on, he has 3 movement. So if we stand here, he can go around and ram us. So this is not safe to stand on. I've never seen them actually do it, but I'd rather play around it and not like risk someone. But if he stands here, he can move him. So it should be fine to do this and not take the double slow tiles. Get my hit off. So he can do this, and this is safe to stand on, and then he can move. Right, so there's no danger anymore. Yeah. He goes here. He cannot ram him into anything. He's slowed and he will take a crit here, but I'd rather have him in a good position. And that's really good for us. Getting the marksman in here is really good. Only got 1 though. He goes on 3. We can just throw him. We want to move back here. We can just we don't have to take this low tile and throw him in here. Now we're good to stand on like any tiles we want. just because the ramming guy is gone. Yeah, and sometimes pushing screws you. So this is big guy. There are two on the map, so we have to check who it is. Yeah, he's slightly bigger than the other. So if you look at them, this is like a warrior, an elite warrior skin, and this is the chieftain. But he is slightly bigger than this guy. And he also has the name Scavenger Chieftain, and he has the name Scavenger Warrior, which is how you can check him. Bounty Hunter and Relic Worship but don't stop scaling? Yeah. I feel like scaling stops around day 80? That sounds about right, yeah. I feel like a really good run should exit map 1 between day 80 and 100. Definitely before day 100. If the run is going really smoothly. And we are at day 154, which tells you like a lot about the run. I think we should back off here. They're piercing us with arrows right now. We just want to stand back, so they have to get it here. And we want to keep him safer, so we put him in front. And move him further. He's pretty injured. And this is why we took this spot to fight. Because we have good choke points here. And there's a line here, which they have to cross. So, let's say if the map would end here, and we wouldn't have those two tiles, those two rows, then it would be really bad. Because those marksmen could just stand there and shoot us. And now it's fortunate because they are in front, but it could also be that the case that they have like melee guys here, and we could not access them. And since this is a challenge run without ranged units, we could not shoot back, and they would just kill us eventually. But since we have like enough room to back off, they actually have to cross this line to shoot us again. So they have to walk in, and then we can kill them in melee, and they're helpless. So we will sustain like one more row of one more barrage. Yeah, barrage I would say. But they will have to move into a bad spot, and then we will kill them off. And then we can look how we will assassinate the guy, the scavenger guy. If we can actually get on him with backstabs, he will die instantly. It's just getting there. And also give him some regen, just so he's not super low. Right. That's what I mean. Like, we take one more shot, but now they're super fucked. Like, they're actually dead. Also, he's kind of getting mauled there, which isn't great. He deals 664 damage, which is respectable. So he also has Vein Sense, which bleeds you. So we have to be a bit careful. He goes in 8. He goes in 21 because he was slowed. We need to swap him out with him, but that should be fine. Get him further. He cannot reach, so he's just positioning everyone else. Stun him here. Take this guy out and block here. He might still shoot him, and he might pop him with elevation. He does 244 and we have 270 health. He might go here and shoot him. It's a blocked shot and he only has a percentage for that. But he might. But he has Angel's Pact, so it's all good. We just need to make sure nobody else gets on him and we're fine. We throw him here. So he has bleeding immunity, but we have bleeding removal anyways, so it's not really important to do this, like to let him get hit by a leader guy. We want him to move in so we can backstab him. He did not shoot this one, okay. We cannot get around, but we end the fight here, pretty sure. So, we bleed him. They're trying to get in, but they cannot get in here in time. We can get in here. It doesn't matter what we do, like positioning wise anymore. He will probably go in here and smack us next turn, but I think he just dies here, straight up. Like we swift hands push him, he's stalwart though, but we still have like triple attacks on him. And he dies. And as soon as he dies, the mission is over, and they cannot do anything anymore. Because we killed their chieftain, and that's all you're here for. And this is like a really interesting part of this mission. You have the option to play this as a normal fight, just clean up everything, get a good engagement, but you also have the option to just bait the guy, like the guy you're here for, and just assassinate him basically. Can set up a ram against the leader, I believe. That was an option, yeah, but I was sure he was dead as soon as he stepped in, and we could sustain the hit, so there was no risk to it. At some point you should just write what units are allowed. Yeah, we banned a lot of them, huh? Do you lose XP by ending it early? Yeah, you do. You get XP for hitting. Also, you get global XP for bleeding. You also get XP for landing killing blows. And if you push them into pits, then you get global killing experience. So yes, you do lose XP. You earn less. Yeah, that's another way of putting it. Immobilizing crits. Kind of interesting. We don't have a legendary yet. And this is Strong Body. This is a rare mutator, and it's only available from exactly this guy we just killed. This guy we killed was a map 1 random boss. It's not random because it's always the same boss, but it's like a random spawn on the map with exactly this contract. And Strong Body is a strong mutator which increases max HP by 40%, and it's only available from this guy. On map 2 there will be a different boss, and he will drop different strong mutators, but not this one. And on map 3 there will be different ones as well. But here, on map 1 is the only place where you can get Strong Body as a mutator. You can still get it on items, because you can get everything on items. But as a mutator, Strong Body is only available here, and you always pick this up, with no question asked. And we left the underground beasts alone, and their threat increases. It's like a random event, and they spawn behind you, and you can just choose to kill them straight up when they are weak, or you can choose to leave them and hope to never run into them again. And we chose the second option, and their threat increases and they grow more powerful with more numbers and more elites and stuff. And you have this warning: once they grow strong enough, they may decide to turn the bloodlust on you. So once like this pops up often enough, their threat increases. They feel strong enough and they just hunt you down. They actually chase you around the map. But we will finish this way before this happens, because we're already like, this is the exit, right? And they are like, this is like their group, and they're not even hunting us yet, so we just chose to ignore them. Strong mutators like Devil's Pact, exactly. Devil's Pact, strongest mutator confirmed. Along with Confuse being the strongest focus mutator. A strong body that useful compared to Monster Heart? Yes, it is. Monster Heart is 25%, so you know. You also can absorb this, but it takes 60 battles to absorb, and I was going to absorb it. I would absorb it in 11 battles, but I misclicked and absorbed Lightfoot. It was an upgraded Lightfoot too. I even upgraded Lightfoot in anticipation that I would keep it, and I would absorb Strong Body, but I misclicked, and now it's fucked. Oh well. I kinda want him to absorb Strong Body. I want him to be beefy. Let's get a Strong Body on him. He will stay around till the end, I think. So, might as well. And I would like the other guy to absorb the strong body. I just don't want to, yeah, let him absorb it. And give him model to hate camel. So, should have done this earlier, I think. I just didn't think about it until recently. So, here's one absorption. I'm sorry. Here's one absorption, right? We could absorb pushing crits though, for like a faster power spike, which wouldn't be bad. But strong body on him would be also nice. And we don't have any other units we're really sure we keep in the end game. We are sure about this one, about Flying Soma, and about Ball Guy, and about our leader, of course. But those 3 units we're not sure we're going to keep. So it's kind of foolish to let them absorb strong body when we only have 2 of them. So let those 2 absorb it. This is a good absorption just because you only get 1 or 2 per run. And it's not a good target for Lifestones to upgrade. Like Lifestones, upgrade any mutator by 2 levels. But this only gives you max HP. That's a terrible upgrade. You want to upgrade Flesh Eater, for example, which gives you more bonus damage, more healing. Like, it gives you other stats than just HP. This is what you want to upgrade with mutators. It's just that this is level 9, and this upgrades by 2 levels, so it would be a waste to upgrade this now. So we're waiting for something else, scaling, that we find to use those 2 Lifestones. Alright, so let's go. Give me strong body. Who are you, Shige? You're the Hammerman? You have Monster Heart already. You're already like super beefy, you have 2k HP. Yeah, Monster Heart is 80%, but it's a relic. So relics are super rare, and you only get them from villagers, right? And you cannot absorb them. And they're like, you only get 3 of them or something per run, probably. So relics are rare, and Monster Heart is like, a Giant's Heart is 1 out of 5. So you're not even guaranteed it. My relics are immortal. Like, those are relics. Those are different. Those are village rewards, and they have really strong effects, but they are limited, and you get a random 1 out of 5. So this one prevents death and gives me healing for 2 turns, like for twice my HP, once per battle. And there are also different ones like Giant's Heart, which just gives you 80% of max HP bonus. So yeah, this is not the strongest form of max HP, but it's the strongest max HP mutator without a downside. There's also Overdose, which gives you 60%, but it ticks you down for 10% HP per turn. So yeah, Strong Body is the strongest mutator without downside, I would say. Give him some con back. Alright, so this is a weapon master. Now those guys gives your guys that use the same weapon as him a new strong versus trait. Strong versus traits are really good. They are, yes, for example, strong versus armor, and his progress is maxed. Well, that means if you hit something with armor, you get a guaranteed crit for your first attack, and then you have a chance for double hit by 50%, and your damage is increased by 50% against them. So the target you're strong versus, like, you hit really hard, and you start with one of these, and you can gain a second one from weapon masters. It's limited to 2 per person. So if you wear the same weapon as him, all the people who wear a crossbow in my team get a new strong versus trait. But since I play without ranged units, I don't have any crossbows, so he will instead give me a legendary weapon. A legendary weapon I actually can wear. So it's still worth to take it. If a villager gets 5k, so can I. So where do we start? He is easily disabled. if someone just stands here, he is engaged in melee, he will not shoot, and he can only move one because he's still engaged here, and he can still not shoot because he would be engaged. So he will not do anything as long as someone stands here. So we can just disable him with any person on our team by just standing there and doing nothing. And he will never do anything. So this is a really good guard to get, the marksman. The other guards would be a lot more scary. There are a couple beasts which we unleashed from the village, which is good because they will fight each other. I think we will start out with a ram on this guy and with a flip on this guy up here. We cannot get a flip on him, can we? Because we're not in range. So we just ram. We stay up here. We have nice pits, like here, here, here. We have like a good defensive position. We are away from beasts. All of them have to come to us through the map. They will be slowed down and stuff. And they will come in pretty disjointed and not as a group. And we can clean up like easy kills, we can clean up him. I think it's a really strong position overall. So we just stay here. There's no reason to move anywhere else. Sometimes the guard spawns far away from you, behind their group, and this is when it gets dicey. Because you have to get to this guy in time. Once you kill half of their guys, he becomes active and starts punching the prisoner, or shooting in this case. And you have to be there to rescue him if you actually want to complete the mission. But in this case we start here. It's no harm, no foul. He has round strike, so he's kind of dangerous. But we can like sustain stuff. We just don't want to stand here because he would backstep stun us. And he still has the moves here. So that's fine. We don't want to swap him out though, because he wants to go here and wants to run. Can flip into backstep, that's true. Maybe I should have done that. Were we? Yeah. We could have flipped into backsteps, that was better. But this way we can also just like kill him, right? Let's see it against armor. So we give him rend armor. Oh, we still have acid event, so it still doesn't show. I'm just curious how good he does against armor. How well he does, rather. We can just punch him. He's just gonna die and he's not gonna do anything. Oh fuck. He got his turn. So this is why he is dangerous. He has round strike, which gives him an additional attack each turn against someone in melee. At the beginning of the turn, attack random adjacent enemy with a melee weapon. And he has a mace, he hits pretty hard for 400, and he slows you down. So 2 hits pushed us far enough back in the timeline that we're slowed, which means everyone who will hit us now will gain a critical against us. Which is no problem here, but if you stand next to them, you get pretty low and you get slowed, and everyone around has like really high priority on you now, because you're a really easy target for them, and they can potentially kill you. So if you stand next to them when like other units are around, they're really dangerous. Here it doesn't super matter. He also has sustain with feast, so he will heal back up. So it's alright, but usually you have to watch out for them. Also, as I mentioned, the game stopped scaling a little, because we're still on map 1, and he doesn't hit as hard as he is supposed to. So I'm taking those missions a little bit easier. Like, we're taking hard missions without any casualties or like anyone like really in danger, which should tell you that it's easy because our group is not strong. Yeah, he's healing up from beasts, from everyone being killed, like from the beasts. We killed 4 people and stuff, and he's max HP already, so it's all good. Pushing crits negates, yeah, it's true, it negates a lot of things, but it has many more upsides. I played with, oh, I can shoot, I can bear trap, oh my god, I want to bear trap so badly. I want to bear trap the hell out of you. That sounded way more kinky than I imagined it. But I just want to use bear traps. But yeah, but pushing crits, I used it on a spearman before, no, on a footman before, through like a whole run and a half or something, and I really enjoyed it. Vergessen. So kinky, I know, right? Let me bear trap you, oh baby. We're just backing off here because they have stupid ranged units. And I only have this crappy hunter I just rescued. Which will be gone after the mission. You only control him for this mission. And I cannot avoid it, so... I cannot do anything about playing with him right now. I'm sorry. I'm trying. He's an mage here, yeah, we know. You're cool and stuff, you're using a crossbow. Calm down. Oh yeah. Oh, shoot him. Hell yeah. He's in kind of a vulnerable place, but he has a lot of sustain. He got a legendary sword with feast, with a high feast, like 35%, and he also has leeching crits, I think. Leeching crits, which he like leeches life from criticals, which he crits all the time. So he has actually a lot of sustain here. So we're not super worried. Let's just walk on them. Oh yeah. Push him. Bonk. Push him. Bonk. Come on. Like, how is this not worth it? Alone for this interaction it has to be worth it, right? He still has Angel's Pact, which is why I'm not really worried about anything. Also, we can push him into this pit, which is another thing you can do with pushing crits. Usually I play pushing crits with a immobilizing crit combo, which he has. Let me bear trap you. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. Just get him away from this guy so he walks in. Do two guys with pushing crits go infinite when surrounding an enemy? Yep, they do. We had this before. We have two guys with pushing crits. It's him. He is pushing criticals. And him. And we had them backstabbing and they bounced the guy around until he was dead. Or like until he ran out of stam. But they killed him. Nah, let him walk in. Oh my god, bear traps, they're so good. They're so disgustingly good. Holy shit. This is what we hope he will do. He will walk up to someone and backstab him and push him into the other guy and just maul him. Like actually just kill him straight up. That's the idea. Bonk. That's also pushing criticals, right? You not only hit them, but also stun them against walls. You throw them into pits. It sucks with murdering sense a little, but I think the upside is still bigger. Overall. Come here, Archer. I got your number. I got your number from the yellow pages. Bonk. So This is what happens. I'm in your debt, blah blah blah, thanks for saving me. I can instruct any member of your party who wields one of my preferred weapons to fight more efficiently, which is the steel the crossbow. And if you don't have anyone who can be taught, even if you have a crossbow who already has 2 strong resist traits, he cannot go higher, the same thing happens. The master cannot teach anyone in your party. Either none wields the master's preferred weapon, which is the case here, or they've already learned a similar technique, which means they already have 2 strong resist traits. But he did give you a legendary steel big axe instead. So you still get this useless weapon, which is like a quality +5 steel weapon, but you also get a legendary, which is stalwart in this case, which ain't bad. Pick up a vigorous. Right. You have feast. Feast is really good though. We can flip stalwart in. Like this is also a steel big axe and this is a silver big axe. So, but we can flip this in if we really need stalwart at some point. So that's good to have. Also, I sell this. Does pushing crits work well for the harder fights? I found so, yeah. It works especially well with him, because he's immobilizing crits. You push them away and immobilize them, and they are 1 tile from you, not in melee anymore, and you waste their next turn. They have to stand there and not do anything. So against things you can actually push, like Greed, like they're not stalwart, you can also immobilize them most of the time, and it's a really sweet combo. We gave him pushing crits just because he backstabs. Like, he really wants to backstab. And pushing with backstabbing is really strong, I think. If you can push them, then it should be really good in harder fights too. I have not tried it on like Vampire Assassin guy as much, as we just got him. But I have like some experience with pushing immobilizing combo and I really love that. There are of course like stalwart people, but well, what can you do?